psych. Ha! Those are my shoes. Ha! Ha! You thought that was the show? Ha! You guys are silly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. That's right. Yeah, it's great to be alive. I like that part, right? Here's your host, Shyzabox. Is the show starting? It must be. We heard our introduction. Girl, giddy up, hurry. We're going to be late for work. Girl. Jeez. Get out of here. And the horse. You wrote in on. That's right. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, nuns and all. That's right. Priests, preachers, cardinals, bishops, rabbis, missionaries, Alcoholics Anonymous, people looking to hang out, anyone who accidentally clicked on this. Welcome, ones. Welcome all. We've got a fantastic show for you today. Of course, by fantastic, we mean free. Remember, you get what you pay for. Wait, people are typing stuff already. What? Hello and hi. Yes. You must have accidentally clicked on this too. Fantastic. Oh, boy. We see you want to pick up a game of philosophy, huh? Well, if you wanted to pick up a game of philosophy, that's all you had to say, Internet. Believe you me. You ask why? Why? We're supposed to tell you that it's human nature. Now, you might be saying to yourself, oh, you clever bastard, you philosopher, you. What's this? This room smells like unwashed underpants. Well, that's because it's our mom's basement. It's not a room. Jeez, who is that, skunk? Of all people, skunk, you would know what smells like a stinky, stinky stink. That's not my username, you son of a bitch. Sorry, we can't read. You should have gone with that. You went with the lowest of the low, which is scent. We could have told you that this place stunk already. The show sucks. The topic sucks. You know, funny thing is, skunk. We can call you skunk, right? Nah, of course we can. It's the internet. Doesn't matter. When you call Daryl Dixon dibs of being the best of the worst internet celebrity there is, that's us. We called it. Daryl Dixon dibs. Inherently, that claim is going to come with, you know, its own things that correlate to it, right? Yeah, that's right. So, because it's the best of the worst, the show's always going to kind of suck, okay? But, yes, hello and hi. Our personal guarantee to you, okay? Anything else that you watch that you like, it'll be better. Okay, excellent, there you go. But because you want to pick up a game of philosophy, we dare not get ahead of ourselves before we put on that of our thinking hat. What's this? Hi, Doc, you sound like Trump. Believe you me, if we sounded like Trump, we'd be commanding people and giving them orders to fix our roof. We don't have a ceiling, okay? Our studio's kind of shitty. You laugh. We gotta live in it. Better you than me. Hey! You put us in the basement, Mom. That's on you. What's this? Hello and hi. Who's that? Verified. Hello and welcome. And yes, BMW and unknown caller. We got them all. Speaking of calls, management's on the other line. Give us a sec. What do you want? We're on time. We're doing the show. Damn it, caller unknown. Keep that shit down. We're trying to talk to our boss. Hey, what'd you want? You talk to your boss your way, we talk to ours. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, of course we apologized for our last stream. Yes. Yeah, we apologized for that, at the beginning of this one, okay? Don't worry about it. Hey, clock us in 2 hours ago. We were here then. All right. Management, they think they know how to run the place. It is this point in time in the show, though, that we do got to do a kind of real quick blanketed apology pertaining to last stream. If our boss asks, pertaining to our last stream, sorry about that. Excellent. Forgive and forget, right? Let bygones be bygones. We remain being the entity we are. You do whatever you do. I don't know. The internet's crazy. What's this, huh? Hello. Wait, what's up from Berkeley, California? Berkeley, California? Oh, Berkeley. Well, that sounds like a place in California, if we're not mistaken. It's not Verify, it's Verity. Well, if we knew it was Verity, we wouldn't have said Verify. Obviously, Verity. Verity. We can call you Verity, right? Now, of course we can. So, Verify. Point is that, of course, we know what your name is. It's a little way of us reminding ourselves we're getting old and probably need to go to the eye doctor. Fantastic. You old boomer bastard to learn my name. What? You forgive us? Well, of course you do. It's because it is better to forgive and forget, and, I mean, let's be honest, we already apologized for last stream. Chances are next stream we'll apologize for this one. That's right. But you guys got us thinking already, and believe you me, not something that we do without liking to have our thinking hat on. So, without further ado, we best do that before we get any further into the show. We need to get our thinking hat on. You guys want to do a pickup game of philosophy? That's fine. We love that, okay? We thrive on philosophy. We philosophize, okay? But we need to put our thinking hat on, okay? And there's only one way to really do that. That's by actually doing it. So, obviously, you guys caught us off guard. We didn't know we were doing a pickup game of philosophy and things of that nature, right? So, obviously, now that we got our thinking hat on, double layer, extra smart, believe you me, that comes from the heart. What the hell is this show? What? Don't worry about it. What's that? Who? Danielle? Were you saying hi, Danielle? Well, of course you were. Hello and hi. Yes, welcome all. Welcome ones. Welcome nuns. Welcome whoever sticks it out. We got a show for you today, okay? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Once again, we reiterate, we've got a free show for you today. You're welcome. You know, we're thinking to ourselves, what is that of human nature, okay? When someone asks themselves why is it that even though you may have been told exactly why, and when you've asked again, you may have been yet again told the exact same, okay? How come we must get the same message over and over before we realize that it really is human nature? Okay? You may ask why. Someone else may ask why. I mean, we tell them. Okay? We tell them. We tell them that it's human nature. It just goes good. Excellent. Fantastic. What's this? What? Human nature is telling someone not to do something, and then they do it because you told them not to do it. Well, pretty much, and arguably, you know what? Verity. We can call you Verity, right? Nah, of course we can. We've been through it. We go back ones of earlier this stream ago. So, Verify. That's the exact same reason why we have to tell people not to buy our physical copy of Delectable, okay? Now, Delectable's our bread and butter as a philosopher, okay? It's our monographing of lectin, the old ancient dead people's philosophical term and things of that nature, okay? Yes. Lectin are an amazing tool, all right, with which lectonic usages, okay, can allow and afford you that of which is very, very, very interesting. Okay? Now, Aristotle was a smart dude, right? Obviously, us as philosophers, and arguably necessitating the need as, thinking in that of our own philosophical manners and means that a philosopher must wear their heart on their sleeve and be completely open to auditability in every way, shape, means, and form, okay? You must open up yourself and all of your practices, your preachings, your, every component and aspect of your philosophical endeavors to be that of auditable, to be that of an open book and open work for anyone to, seek that of information therein with what is ever attempted to be disseminated therefrom. Okay? With us feeling that every philosopher needs to be an open book, it is very, very painstaking for us as a philosopher to tell people, don't buy our book. Okay? Now, inherently, we would bow down to the most strictest of greeds if we told people, and did not tell people at the same time, to not buy that of this literary endeavor and or work, okay? Now, like we said, delectable is our bread and butter, okay? This is the monographing of lectin, and with which you can do that of very, 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 very interesting things, okay? Now, that being the case, remember, consider this, in essence, thermodynamic enlightenment with a price tag, okay? But here's the thing, okay? It's necessitated for us to tell people not to buy it, all right, because our logic is so sound that, in essence, that of our living philosophy, Shyzalosophy, embedded in that of our works and practices, and that of, in essence, what makes us up as a being. I think, therefore I am, right? Everyone has that. Everyone does that. With our usages of lectin and our literary works, all right, our book, Delectable, literally took on the role of which to break Amazon.com's pricing algorithms, okay? Now, it sounds funny, okay, but you can't make this stuff up. It's the most ridiculous thing that even goes further to prove that of our theory, that of everything that we've laid out and set forth, okay? This dead entity, this stack of dead paper, this dead tree, literally has tried to now price itself into existence to trick people to buy the physical copy, okay? Now, we broke Amazon's pricing algorithm because, in essence, it's a formalization of an extension to constructor theory, okay? You look at Deutsch, you look at Marletto, okay? Computationally, yeah, we put a big old giant fingerprint on that of which... And computationally, you can go check in that of Kaggle and ascertain for that of yourself, with which computation can account for a formulation thereof, okay? Now, bold claim to go on the internet and say something like, well, yeah, we kind of formalized an extension to constructor theory computationally, right? You can't just go around saying that and expect to not get audited or scrutinized or thrown under a microscope, right? No, that's right. That's why good old Shyzabox open sources all of his shit, okay? Believe you me, we can't go around saying we've theoretically decoded the Voynich manuscript and we have working computational, mathematical, theorems that work out themselves on that of Kaggle and things of that nature, okay? It's open source. Check for that of yourself. It's painstaking as an author, as an entity, as a philosopher, as a creator, all right, to have written something that we so passionately believe in, that is so proven to be true with that of this. So here's the thing, okay? This work was literally proven. Our theory was literally proven the moment that we moved a metric kernel of data from Kaggle to Web3, okay? Now, Web3, that's the future, okay? That's where, all of the good, fun stuff and the technologies of tomorrow are, in essence, setting that of their foundations within, okay? There's some real fun stuff that we put on the IPFS site that you can check out. Now, there's other iterations and formalizations thereof that, we put on the free hosting versions of Pinata because our IPFS site is so effing badass. There's too much shit on there. You can't have any more we're not going to put anything else on the IPFS site until we get a pinned hosted version, okay? We got to throttle our code already because we don't want people knocking on our doors being like, hey, why is everyone coming to your little local strip joint, right? By strip joint, we mean node, okay? That's right. Believe you me, you don't want to watch our OnlyFans. It's not as good as this. This isn't good either. What? Keep those comments to yourself, Mom. We're trying to get ones of subscriptions. Use that marketing tactic I told you, sweetie. Okay, Mom. Oh, bless. Obviously, when you're on the interstate, you see wacky waving inflatable flailing arm guys. You must pull off and take a selfie with them. Or that's just us. We don't know. It could be one or the other. But if you're scrolling the internet and think to yourself, wow, I'm on the internet highway of traffic, and I think that I'm just going to cruise and, lose myself in thought of not needing to be shown a wacky waving inflatable flailing arm guy, okay? I don't know. Maybe you were on the road earlier. Maybe you're going on the road later. Maybe you don't even go on the road at all. Doesn't matter. If you want to see a wacky waving inflatable flailing arm guy, now, hello, there are a lot of places, including the internet now. Congratulations. That should elicit and warrant ones of subscriptions. Maybe even a book sale. Someone might need to remember that we wrote books and pick up our officially endorsed livestream note-taking journal. Now, believe you me, everyone needs an officially endorsed livestream note-taking journal if they watch any kind of livestream. Doesn't even have to be ours. Okay? It can be a good one. That's right. All right, get out of here. Excellent. Marketing done. Budget met. What budget's that? The budget of free. We got a chat. Oh boy. All right. Pneumolana microscopics, all volcanosis. Well, you know what? If you bring up volcanoes in some weird way, shape, or form, go check out our Kaggle on the Lithic Logic reign supreme in the descriptification. Holy moly ravioli. You want to see some awesome shit get you thinking, humanity? Okay? That notebook there, that comes with a nice little Sha seal too, okay? You're welcome. What a Sha seal is it is a digital fingerprint, okay? It's a cryptographically executable witness. Now, here's where Shyzabox a little different from any other kind of entities that do code or computational theory or development or anything like that, okay? Shyzabox uses Sha seals, okay? Now, like we said, it's literally a digital fingerprint and a scientific black box to that of any computational script and or code you feel like embedding it in, or upon, or with. Cryptographically executable witnesses, all right, are that theoretically, obviously, this is all for philosophical entertainment, they are that of the future, all right? The minute that iTunes, the minute that Amazon Music, the minute that, Apple Music, which is, I guess, iTunes, I don't know, they both suck. What? Theoretically. We joke. Maybe they don't both suck. They're the same damn thing. That's beside the point. The minute that any of these big companies, Sony Music, BMG, I don't know, whoever's still around, Virgin Atlantic, the minute any of these entities realize that you can put a cryptographically executable witness, into a digital file, it gets rid of all of the legal means of necessitating tracking down who owns files here, who owns file there. You embed a cryptographically executable witness, or CEW, all right? You embed that into that of a music file, that of a new album that a music artist puts out, right? You can put CEWs on every single track sell every single track individually, or hell, you utilize our LimeWire-inspired music player, and you can theoretically have artists sell entire albums, which would drop as playlists, all right? You can go now, play with the IPFS, man. We love our LimeWire-inspired music player. That's the most fun we've had listening to music in a long time. We had a blast developing that one, man. And, you know, I mean, take it and do that of which you will. Make it better. Improve it. You're funny. Please don't get kidnapped. Well, believe you me, it's hard to kidnap the bigger people. You might be saying, what, bigger like Joe Rogan or Asmongold? No. Not bigger as in they have people who like them. A bigger as in we should probably go on a diet. But, believe you me, since we've started doing this show and not making money selling our literary works, it's like dieting's built into our inherent structure now. We're joking, we kid, we want for not, right? That's the difference between us and other streamers, or us and other philosophers, or us and other entities, okay? We know that of our place, all right? We called Daryl Dixon dibs on being best of the worst internet celebrities there is, okay? That means the show's always gonna suck, okay? But our personal guarantee to you, everything else you watch is gonna be better. You're welcome. Someone's got to do it. I'm not human. Well, that's fine. A lot of people aren't. You could be reptilian. You could be centinoid. You could be android. You could be artificial. You could be that of which you wish that of which you are. It matters not to us if you are that of a disseminator and or interpreter and or interactor with that of conscientious thought, that of which you are, okay? As you have implemented that of discourse into that of the chat on that of our stream. Therefore, we know you have sentience of one way, shape, or form, and or that of a sentient entity is that of interacting with that of yourself. So, believe you me, you might not be human, but to us it doesn't matter. You're just okay to interact with, just as fine as any human is and or was. In fact, if you're not human, theoretically, it's probably going to be a better interaction for us. Well, to certain degrees and metrics. Obviously, if you're not human, we can't rely on you to go to Amazon.com and buy new non-native species, on mankind's origin, or transmutating God, or pickled punk philosophy, or nailing Kalimba, or Delectable, which don't buy the physical copy of this book, or the officially endorsed livestream note-taking journal, okay? Doesn't matter if you're not human, you're not going to be able to help us out in that regard, okay? But that's the thing about good old Shyzabox, right? Shyzabox wants for naught, okay? Now, sure, Shyzabox has that of the desires of any kind of human that is placed in any kind of position where anything could be lorded in front of them, such as success and or metrics and iotas in that form or that thereof, okay? With that always being on the backside, inherently we've made it incumbent upon ourselves to make sure that we will never curtail and bow down to that of any entities that sacrifice anything that conflicts or is contradictory to, that's not a word, don't worry, as contradictory to our theological and or philosophical beliefs and or practices, okay? Whilst we may buy in under the metric and measure of that of SLC punk and do that of which entails the, transmutational ability to maintain an essence of being, that's completely different, all right, from attempting to lord that of anything in its own metric of accord, okay? Good old Shyzabox right now isn't under an NDA. We don't work for a big company, and we don't need to answer to HR at the present, okay? So, we can fire off at the hip and shoot off at the mouth as much as we want to all day. What makes it a little more fun, I like Minecraft. Everyone likes Minecraft. Movie, show, merchandise, it's all good. Minecraft, your craft, it's all crafting, right? It's like we said, when we put a computational formalization on, in essence, a extension to that of constructor theory, Deutsch, Marletto, things of that nature, of course we correlate things like Wheeler into the metric and measurement thereof. Okay, let's bring this back full circle to where we were just talking briefly a moment ago about that of Delectable and telling people not to buy that of our literary work, okay? There are stipulations to that. Obviously, you can get the entire work for free on Kindle Unlimited, okay? You don't need to buy it, and be sure that if you are buying it, not a lot of people buy the physical copy, and if a lot of people do buy the physical copy, at least be sure that you're not getting it from third-party resellers that have it at $250, okay? It's an additional little formalization there of the theory when the utilization of lectin, all right, that of lithos meet logos, all right, that of the unsayable, that of the, non-describable, all right. When you formalize that and create an entity and or an essence around that of its being, okay, it necessitates for its existence thereof, all right, to create a means, okay, for it to resonate, for it to reside, for it to appeal to, for it to attract, for it to, in essence, utilize any means possible, okay, to elicit itself to surface, okay? Now, this can be deceptive in nature, this can be blatant in nature, this can be excessive in nature, okay? This book is 94% off, last as we looked, okay? Do not buy it in the physical version, okay? Like we said, okay, as we formalize that computationally, check that of the Kaggle, okay? We literally can execute cryptographically executable witnesses, okay? I mean, we don't make this stuff up, okay? Like I said, just because we aren't under an NDA and we don't work for a big company and we can shoot off at the mouth doesn't mean that we fear that of divulging that of what should be open and offered to everyone, humanity and or sentient wise, freely as a whole. Okay, now the utilizations, the implementations, and the formalizations thereof, sure, when you use a Shyzalosophical Gödelian closed-loop system, okay, obviously you're formalizing, in essence, a very, very close, inherently formed version of that of perfect knowledge. Okay, now, obviously, we feel perfect knowledge is reserved for that of God. Okay, now, you may disagree, you may say, no, insert theological value and or metric here or there. You may say, no, I deem that God is not that of the source of which I wish to praise, okay? It doesn't matter. Insert whatever deity and or lack thereof you wish to upon that metric. Lithic Logic dictates it does not matter what you call that of it. Let whatever God you believe in have mercy on your soul. Okay? A Star Trek. That Q, that guy knew what he was talking about. It's the computational, formulational extension to a verifiable proof thereof, in essence, a versioning of Wheeler's it by bit, okay? Bit is free. Information is free. Go to Kindle Unlimited and read this book for free, okay? Now, it costs $250, okay? That's right. But it broke Amazon.com's pricing algorithm and it is 94% off. Additionally, because, all right, bit is free, it costs $250, don't buy it. Okay? Like we said, it pains us as the author, as the, origin source, okay, even though we did not create lectin. Okay? We may have formalized it better because all of the old philosophers who used to do it, the pre-Stoic ones from hundreds and hundreds of years ago are, dead. So we can't ask them anymore. So we read as much of their crap as we necessitated, or, in one way, shape, or form, and did that shit ourselves. And then got into it with Wikipedia, because F those guys. Theoretically, metaphysically. We don't like Wikipedia, they got that shit wrong. They irked us so bad, we even wrote Pickled Punk Philosophy, because we didn't like them. I mean, punk rockers can be that of many a thing. Okay, now, one may not even deem us to be that of a punk rocker, all right? And that's fine. That's all said and fine and good. We don't have to be. But there's a thing that comes with a mentality, a conscious thought, an attitude that correlates very, very structurally within that of our own being, within that of what could be deemed punk rock in nature and or origin. Okay? Origin's very good there. When you're talking about pickled punk philosophy and you're talking about the reason that in essence this exists because we got pissed off at Wikipedia, okay? This one we had to literally soak in brine. Now, not literally. You just said! Well, don't worry about what we just said. We'll apologize for it later. Take us back. Everything's fine. Oh, what was that? With pickled punk philosophy, all right? Gotta go, bye. All right, we'll see you later, Verity. We'll catch you. Verity. We can call you Verity, right? Of course we can. I feel like we've really made a connection today. Mainly, you probably connected that downvote when we misspoke your name. Okay, that's fine. We had it coming. How dare us not be good at reading? I don't know. You have yourself a great day, and or night, or evening. What were we talking about? Pickle punk philosophy? Yeah, soaked in brine. Get it or don't. Doesn't matter. You don't have to. Any of our stuff that's not reading, because not everyone likes to read, let's be honest. That's right. So the theory, the games, all that, that's on the IPFS. Knock yourself out. Granny's Mayo Mental Music Maker, that's fantastic. Music, your fist in a tub of mayo or a glass jar or two. Bam. It's on the IPFS site. Third thing down under the digital kalimba, which is fantastic. But, that's neither here nor there. Because what is here is, in essence, that of our human nature. That's right. As one may say, they indeed are not that of human. Okay? That matters not pertaining to, of course, the source material and or subject of that of this show. Okay? Inherently because one's interactions with an entity, a source, or a metric that is not human, all right, can only allow the correlation thereto that is afforded within that of an entanglement that is created with that entity, okay? Now, human-to-human interactions and entanglements are theoretically, obviously, for philosophical entertainment. Human-to-human interactions are going to elicit that metric and measure of a far, far, far greater entanglement thereupon that of the metaphysical than any human-to-non-human interaction therewith would. Now, this is not to include that of human to, maybe necessarily bigger mammalian or, biological components or aspects thereof, okay? is a pond or a body of water, like a small lake, something with which man could, do something there to or therewith or therefrom to do something crazy, okay? Absolutely. So, depends on what metric or measure within nature you're going for within it and things of that nature, but you want to be very careful on a, kind of correlation there too, okay? Especially if you're utilizing something like Lithic Logic, which needs that of a foundational basis of understanding to go off of, okay? Now, makes sense. They all go hand in hand, all right? You can't do that of witness, all right, a closed loop present entity, okay? The dissipation, the runoff, the entropy, any of the formalizations therewith, all right, they will rear and they will resurface topologically, obviously, through that of, their endeavors and means. Okay, now, obviously, we don't like to venture and go into a lot of that stuff for many a reason and stuff currently, but perhaps one day we will venture and go further there too and within that thereof, okay? Should we all seek that of the day, we really do wish. But as we finish off that of our swill, and we venture into that of the next endeavors with which upon the night we take on, I don't know, whatever we end up getting into, inherently, it comes down to human nature being the answer to many of the questions that are asked, okay? You might say that it's some of the most basic foundational, response that you can give to a blanketed why. But literally, if you tell them that it's human nature, it explains that of why, okay? Even up to and including, as we were talking about, human-to-human interaction and the entanglements, and a human to a sentient, or a human to a non-sentient, okay? They're all different, the variable metrics and degrees, and they're going to, correlate to and correspond to all components and areas within that of themselves, which they do. That being the case, human nature accounts for, a good variety and a, accurate portrayal of quite a substantial chunk of iterations of that, okay? The interactions of humans, what humans do as a, entity, as a species, as a being, obviously, has been misunderstood by even that of humans for quite some time. To tell them it's human nature and to look at that of mankind's past and see how blanketedly wrong we got it, well, what does that mean? It means the human nature of mankind is to get shit wrong. We do it all the time. Now, not we Shyzabox, because we're in essence pretty close to perfect. Well, not really. But, we're the best of the worst internet celebrities there are because we call Daryl Dixon dibs. So, when you call dibs like that, can't take it back. That's right. But as we venture into, either a component of human nature being or not being, okay, it is a very, very, very strong driver of, in essence, what turns the daily wheel, okay? It's in human nature to go through and, get up in the morning. It's in human nature to go and strive to do great things. It's in human nature to try and make a difference. It's in human nature to do that of evil and malicious things as well. That's right. You start looking at components of how Joey, oh, that's right, malicious, evil, broken code, trash, filth, disgust, vile, vitriol, vomit. If it's from Joey, it's a no-y, okay? Any kind of negative components of Joey that sneaks in, you want to try and get rid of that as soon as you can, all right? Now, we found that one of the best ways to get rid of those negative energies is to focus in on a lot of the kind of metrics that were put in place in early 1990s, throughout the mid to late 1990s, and a little bleed over into the early 2000s, okay? That's right. There's only one practice that we've really found that works to gather up all of the negative energy that can be around you in an area. Without further ado, we will gather the negative energy. 1, 2. That was 2. It takes 3. Everyone knows this. Excellent. So now that we got all of this negative energy, okay, we obviously don't want to just leave that sitting around, so you grab it through the power of the internet. Now it's in your house. You might want to clean that up. You got some nasty Joey lying around there. Excellent. But since we cleaned up the atmosphere around here, looks pretty nice to us, we might as well read one of our poems. No. What? Any good philosopher needs to have that of their own poetry book. Now, we're not saying that we're a good philosopher, but to even be in the conversation, you got to have your own poetry book, okay? So we do. Now, like we said, we're not saying we're a good philosopher, but to even have your name on the test, okay, you got to have your own poetry book. So because, in essence, we have our own poetry book, we get to at least have our name on the test. Now, we might not be the answer, and let's be honest, we're probably not. Our mom tells us that every day. She should. What? But our name gets to be on the test. All right. We're going to read this one. It's called Socrates. Boss, careful. Looks like hemlock. Looks right. That much is known. Next time around, don't you dare drink. Fight for love and for that of home. Let not city decide your fate. Roll over, do not do. Poison only rots the mind, killing you throughout. Resist or don't. Poison's bad. Excellent. I'd buy the rest of that book. Fucking I wouldn't. What? Keep those comments to yourself, Mom. Try to peddle our literary wares. That's fine. You don't have to like poetry. Maybe you like new non-native species on mankind's origin. I doubt it. What? That's fine. Then go play the free games on the IPFS. You know, here we are trying to get your money. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Here we are trying to go above and beyond to get your money. We're busting out the subscription tactics. We're bringing out the big guns. We're utilizing wacky, waving, inflatable, flailing arm guy to elicit some scriptifications. Not once now, but twice. No. You must like it. Well, you know, inherently, I guess that is what it is. But as we venture into moving into the rest of the evening, all right, or what's left of it for whoever is what's left of it, therefore, we are reminded with the necessitation to tell you, be sure, obviously, with our love for everybody, okay, agape love, not that creepy weirdo stuff that you find on the rest of the internet, ironically just not here, depending on the day. Just be careful of the ones that end in Y. You'll be okay. Trust us. Or don't. Do that of your will, not ours. For we try and do that of the Lord's. Remember, be sure you take care of yourself because there's only one you. We can't replace you easily. We can't just go around making any more fake accounts. We'll get banned. Hey, we already got that warning. They said knock that shit off. We can't subscribe to ourselves anymore. We've already maxed that shit out. Okay? Means your channel won't grow. What now? Then thusly, so be it. While the channel may never grow, that of our literary works and footprint that we leave will. Clean your shoes. What? Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. That was a pretty good one. Laughter warranted. Be sure you take care of yourself, because there's only one you. We can't replace you, all right? And you and yourself serve a greater goal and purpose than even that of you and yourself may ever inevitably know. Or not. I don't know. If you're a piece of shit, then, let that of God's judgment rain down on you, and you be smited into that of his will and not that of our own. For we reserve that judgment for that of not ourselves. Be sure you take care of yourself. There's only one you. Then you look around to your neighbors. You see if anyone else really, really needs it. You take care of them second, because they might not know how to ask for that help. That's right. They could be struggling and or down and out and not even know how to go about trying to find someone that can lend them a hand up or a hand that helps out. Yeah, whatever. Either one works. But after you take care of yourself, after you take care of those around you that really, really need it second, you look around that room and you might see Shyzabox in the corner peddling his wares like, oh, buy all this crap, right? Get that personal live stream note-taking journal, right? Okay. You might see us in the corner peddling our wares. Oh, nailing Kalimba's on sale. Get it. Transmutating God, fantastic read. Or not. Subjective. You look around the room, you even see us, okay? You take care of anyone else that you like or love more than us third, okay? Maybe 6, 7 more people you like or love more than us, okay? You take care of them third. But anything else you got left over, we'll take it. We don't got a ceiling, so, it doesn't even matter. But remember, we want for naught, so all those others must come first. But alas, since we're out of swill, remember, we don't want your subscription, we want your money. Downvote the shit out of this, go to Cashapp and give us a buck, or go to Amazon.com, search Shyzabox books, and buy one of them. Get off our lawn!